Hey, Keisha, welcome to Prison Brides. I had to
Hi,
stop that
Mary. Thank you.
music.
How are you?
I'm great. Now, Keisha, we have to be on our best behavior because we're going to put this on the public feed. Prison Brides, episode 3. It's going on the
Oh
public
my.
feed out to the
Oh
public,
my. Oh
not just on
boy.
Peak Shade Crime.
Okay. So basically, I'm just going to be myself.
Be yourself, but maybe take it down half a notch.
Uh,
Not a whole notch, not a whole notch.
I don't know how to do that.
You do. You do a great job. You do a
I'll
great
try
job.
real hard. Real.
Oh my
Remember
gosh.
when we first started? I was just like
Uh-huh.
all over the place.
Yeah, I remember.
And I had to learn how to bring it on in a little bit.
I know.
So, yeah.
People
Yes.
love you so much. I have to tell you, I have to say, shout out to Liz and Corey, and I'll shout them out again on Monday's episode. But so Liz and Corey are 2 listeners, and I saw them last year when I was in New York for Amy Phillips' show at the Green
Mhm.
Room 42, and then I was just there this past week at the Green Room 42 for this Radio Andy Theater live thing, and
Uh-huh.
they were there again. And I really like looked over and I
Oh,
was like, I think I know
I
those
know them.
gals. And I stood up and sort of walked her. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, Mary Payne." And they were like, "We love Keisha. We love Life After Lockup so much. It's so good to see you again." And I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like Keisha just texted me that our Monday episode must have been real funny because she got us getting text about it.
Yeah, I was getting all kinds of before I woke up. I was like, oh my, at first you get a little bit nervous, like, okay, what the fuck did I say?
Yeah, of course, me
You
too.
know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
then you see it, I'm like, oh, okay. People are liking it. People are conversing about things that we said that they agree. I'm like, okay. But it is always a touch of nervousness at first. Like, oh, here we go. What did one of us do? What did one
I
of us
know.
say? Did I
Mhm.
sniff? Did I cough?
Right, all those things. I've
It's just
recently
like,
gotten some feedback that I do too much sipping of my beverage. So
I
I need, like I've stopped the yawning and now I'm sipping. So guys, I'm sorry. I am trying to do my best. I really am.
But
I
I
really
think
am.
when we record, I only see you take like maybe 2 sips and I don't hear it. But then again, I see it. So
Right.
maybe I don't pay attention to the sound, but I don't know how loud it could be.
I know. And I try to remember to mute it too, because, people have that condition or whatever it's called. And I
Yes.
can't remember, but it's like, it's really upsetting to them to hear somebody chew or sip or make any kind of like
Yeah.
body noise. And I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll sit at the table with my son and be like, "Who raised you? Was it me? Because my God,
Right.
what's happening over
Yeah.
there with the chewing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, every night at dinner, I'm going to say for the last 10 years, one of my children will get mad at the other one for chewing too
And I get that because producer James chews really loud.
loud. Uh-huh.
And I just will just stop and just stare at him. Just stare. I won't say a word until he feels me staring at him and then he'll just stop chewing. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, how do you not hear how loud you're chewing? I don't. It doesn't always bother me, but sometimes it's like extra loud, like a freaking cow chewing on a sugar cane over there. And I'm just like,
I
it's
tell
too
you that
much.
my husband had that neck surgery that he'll never let us forget about. He really likes to milk it out. Like, we got it. You had neck surgery, okay? But
That's
he real
big.
it is big, but we did it and
Yeah.
now we're done. And now we don't need to talk about it constantly, okay? And that's like me being like 10 years ago, I had my gallbladder out. Okay, it's over. Everybody's fine. But he talks about it all the time. But when he first had that neck surgery, because of what they go in through the front, so they move
Mm-hmm.
all your throat and everything over to get to the back. It's gross. So I mean, even now, a little bit still, 9 months later, he still has it. But for those first 2 months, anything he ate, it was like a. I was like, either you're going to leave this table or I am, because for about a month, I'm gonna let it go. But after that, you're gonna have to learn to chew more thoroughly. But it was so gross. And he was same as you. I would just stare at him like, "Are we doing this at the table? Are we doing this?" He's like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I mean, it's not his fault, but I was
He
so mean
can't
about
help
it.
it. He
I didn't
cannot
care.
help it.
It
Mary
takes.
Payne.
I'm always right on edge of being like, "Huh?" Like,
Oh,
stop. I was talking to the dogs this morning, Keisha, because Violet had to, they have to put them under like every so often and clean their teeth real good, and then they
Mhm.
check, and then so she had to have four little tiny teeth removed. So she had little stitches
Oh,
in her little mouth, and so we've been
poor
giving her,
baby.
her little antibiotic and
Yeah,
her. So we've given her for the first 4 days. It was just only like canned food that they gave us. And
right.
so now I'm just sort of mixing it so we can get back on the regular food. And of course, Ginger's in freaking heaven. She just loves that canned food. She's so excited. But
Yeah.
there's nothing that'll give you the heaves more than getting a spoon and having to scoop out canned soft dog food. I mean, I'm just like, this. I was doing it for them this morning, giving them their lunch, and I was like, just out loud, girls, I must really love you because this is disgusting. This is so gross. The whole time I'm like scooping it into the bowl, and I'm like having to like push it off the spoon with my finger, and I'm just
Yeah.
so no. I would never be able to have a cat. Never.
So, okay, why didn't you get like the little like sushi? Because he has zero teeth in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a little petite bowl where it
yeah.
actually kind of looks like real food.
It's like a single
Uh,
serve.
yeah, it does. And I didn't even know they sold canned food like that anymore. That sounds like Alpo.
It's in a can like that, like Alpo, but it's like special, Hill's Diet, sensitive stomach, whatever, just because she'd had that surgery.
It's super super mushy.
Yeah. It's like if I went to a restaurant and I was like bougie and wanted to order like pate, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "No,
Okay.
ma'am, no, sir, no way, no, thank you."
She's
Yeah,
gonna be majorly upset when she goes back to like her regular dog food.
I understand that. So that's why I'm trying to kind of wean her off. And I told Dave I might look into if I said if there was such a thing as like a single serve, and then I could just give her
Yeah.
a tiny dollop with her food just to, ease her back
Yeah.
into it. But this can, and then I gotta like put tinfoil on the can and put it back in the fridge, and I'm just like,
It's a lot.
I'm not built for this. Uh-uh.
Okay, let me go ahead and schedule a therapy session for you for how to get over the canned dog. It kind of reminds me of like chili, canned chili.
Yes, and that's
It's
gross
just,
too.
oh, I
That's
love a good canned chili. Ooh,
I just don't want to
yum.
see it. I don't want to hear about it. Just serve it to me in a bowl with like some cheese and some Fritos, and I'm good to go. I don't want you to tell
You
me about it.
just fuck the process though. You don't need all the shoving of the spoon in the
Woo!
can
I
and
can't.
that sound, that little suction sound
Oh,
that comes out a little
Keisha,
bit.
Keisha, I'm not gonna be able to eat lunch after this. I am so grossed out. You guys, we started off talking about how people get grossed out with our suction sounds and our, and now everybody's turned it off. Everyone has turned it off.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
The
sorry.
things that bother you that don't
I know.
bother me, but you know what bothers me more than anything in this
What?
entire universe
What?
is gum.
I know. And I do chew gum sometimes, not as much as I used to, but what bothers me is my dog's barking because you can hear him right now.
That was a whole wait a minute. That's because she saw the bears that y'all have in the backyard, according to Anna Gilbert and her Instagram page.
Okay, there's no bears in our yard, and you guys, this is why Keisha is a 40-year-old woman and my daughter that's 20 are the same person. Because my daughter posted a picture of the paw prints of, little sweet little Ginger loves to get out in the snow and her little footprint. And Anna took a picture of it. I guess she like enlarged it so it would fit the screen. So probably it looks big. It's probably like an inch.
It
And
is
she,
not the same shape as a dog's paw.
well, that's her paw print. It is. It is not a bear. And Anna put it on her Instagram and said, "We have bears in our yard." And Keisha's like, "Ooh, what happened with that bear?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? The two of you need to just run off together and be best friends because this is like, no, no way. No
And I'm all
way."
believing it. I'm like, oh man, I hope she catches a picture of the bear. It looked like a little baby. It's shaped like a baby bear's paw print.
Okay, well,
I'm
somebody
telling
let us
you.
know if a bear and a dog have the same shape paw print because I imagine they
They
do.
don't.
All right, well, what do I know? I've never been around a bear in real life.
A bear paw print has like a little point at the
Yeah,
front. Like
okay.
like the pictures that Anna posted.
Well, I
It
think that's
totally looks like a cub.
well, Well,
It
that would mean there's a
does.
mom somewhere, and that would be real
I
fucking
know.
scary.
You better watch out. Like when you go outside, you better like bang on something. Like get one of those dog food cans and a spoon and bang real hard when you go outside to make
They
sure the
would see
bears are gone.
Ginger. They would see Ginger and be like, "That looks like a snack."
Oh
Like,
no.
because she is a little baby bear. She is.
I s-
God, she's so bad, but she's so cute. We just can't. Last night she just sat at the foot of our bed, like we have a bench at the foot of the bed. So she's sitting on the
yeah.
bench with her little face just right on the foot of the bed, looking up at us. And Dave's like,
I
"Look at
love
her.
it when they do that.
She just like a stuffed animal." I think she
They
was like
just steal your
surveying.
heart.
I know. I was like, "Come on, Ginger, come up here. You get up here with mommy and give me some kisses."
Well, it
Yeah,
pisses like my mom off. She goes, "Ugh, you just look at them sometimes and I can see your fucking heart melting." I'm like,
I
how can it not?
know.
And my mom's like, I don't get it. I'm like, they're just so freaking cute. Just want to eat them up.
Is your
No.
mom's
Mm-mm.
not a pet person, huh?
No, she's old school. I mean, but here's the thing. She talks so much shit about
Yeah.
how I treat them.
Uh-huh.
But I will occasionally hear her, "Come here, man. Come here." And she's feeding them like rotisserie chicken. I even caught her letting them eat off of a fork.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was like, "I caught you, bitch. I
So she
caught
is
you."
soft. She's soft. She
Not
just
as soft
tries.
as me.
Right.
She's getting softer with age. I'll say that.
You guys never forget that Keisha did adopt a chinchilla,
A three-legged chinchilla.
a three-legged chinchilla that
Yeah.
bit her and James so badly they had to rehome the chinchilla.
I mean, it didn't bite us badly, but it did bite us, and we were all just semi afraid of it. We didn't know what to do. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't a cat. And I just finally looked at the family and said, "We don't know what we're doing. Like, we have
We're
to
not equipped.
rehome."
Not equipped.
We were totally not. Our hearts were in the right place,
Yes. And
but
then
no,
you
we
gave the
didn't.
chinchilla to a guy who really was
A little
he knew
boy
a little boy. He knew what he was
who
doing.
he had watched all the YouTube videos. He did
Uh-huh.
all the things that we should have done before we got the chinchilla. He had already done it. I'm like, I even got a tear in my eye. I'm like, he's going to a good place. He's going to a
That's
good
right.
place. So,
That's right.
yeah,
Bless. What was
yeah,
that chinchilla's name?
yes. I named him Van Gogh, which everyone hated.
Yeah. Oh, her dogs have
Yeah.
crazy names. All right, we got to get into this. We got to get into this podcasting, and I'm going to just make a timestamp here so people will know where to turn off the disgusting dog food talk. Um, and also, guys, if you've
Okay.
heard of a bear in Alexandria, Virginia, near the Mount Vernon area, just let me know. Just let me know. And nobody send me an article from like 4 years ago because I know like 4 years ago somebody in my county had a bear. Okay,
Okay, so it still counts.
okay, but
It
I
counts.
don't send that to
It
me from 4 years
counts.
ago. I know about it already. I know about it. Could have been a
Mhm.
fox. I mean, we do have foxes everywhere.
Now you may be right. It could be a fox, but it most definitely is not a dog.
Okay, well, I'm going to go out in my yard and examine the evidence, CSI
Good.
style, and I'll let you know.
Okay. Get back
All
to
right,
me.
let's get started. Prison Brides, Season 1, Episode 3. And the horrible title of this is I've Seen Him Naked Now. No,
I mean, she
that's a
did
dumb
see his
title.
booty. I did,
I
but
think we saw it all. I think we saw it all.
saw
And
it
that's fine
all.
because he's real cute.
Yeah, I mean, he had a cute booty. He
He's
did.
real cute. And you were right because last week. Now, guys, if you want to hear episodes 1 and 2 and every episode besides this one, henceforth, you're going to go over to Pink Shade Prime. That's where this lives. It's on the $10 level because it's super special. But last week you said that the reason he always wears a beanie is because he has a pointy head. And I was like, well, that's not
Like an
nice.
egg.
But you're
But
correct. He does.
he does. There's a
He
point,
does.
like a little baby egg.
It
Just
is.
not a whole egg point, but it's like a little point that's trying to become a big point.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But he is very good looking, I think. And she is
He's cute.
gorgeous.
I know. I
Sh
cannot even stand her. She's so pretty.
Yeah, I think they're a good match. So let's start with them. So Svea,
Okay.
29 from Dusseldorf, Germany. She's a midwife, and Joseph, age 30. He was serving 11 years in St. Louis, Michigan, for armed robbery and assault. Now, as we go along, we find that most of our prisoners come from St. Louis,
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah,
So
they do.
they got something going on with that prison.
Something in that water.
Something's happened, and that's where they found most of their people. Well, it's just sort of like they found the one, and it was like, "You got any friends dating some international chicks? They put them on
Uh,
this show too."
I do. Let me talk to the fellas to see if they're interested. Where's that application at? Yeah, it's just weird.
Where's Cage? Where's KJ? Where's JoJo? Let me get these guys.
Right?
All right, so we open with Joseph getting out, and she runs and hugs him, and she's like, "I will remember this moment for the rest of my life." He says he feels great. He's dreamed about it getting out every day for 11 years. And the woman he loves, Svea, has been there for him when he's been in and now that he's out. And he's just basking in the moment. And he gets in the car and goes, "I don't know what this is, but I'm going to eat it." And she says, "It's German gummy bears." He's like, "Fine. I don't get anything for that food, you know?"
So let me ask you, because maybe it's just me and maybe I'm just mean.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay.
I feel like if I were picking up my boyfriend from prison, I'm
Okay.
not running to greet him. I'm gonna pull my car all the way up and open the door for him and let him just get in. I'm not doing any of that running. It was cold. I mean, no, just get
Wait,
your ass in the car and be glad I picked you
no.
up. I am not
No.
running. No.
I'm not saying you should run, but and also that person should run to you, by the way.
I agree.
But I think you should stand outside the vehicle to pick them up because I mean, give them a little hug before you get in the car. Have
I'm
that
gonna wave
moment.
my hand, my arm outside the window so he'll know which car I'm in. I'm over here. Back here in the white one, in the white car. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then greet him as he gets in and hand him his German what was it, gummy bears?
Gummy bears, yeah.
I'm gonna assume it was Hasbro, because isn't that German?
I don't ask me questions like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't. I
Someone
can't
from
even.
someone
I can't
German
even.
tell us.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. I think you're thinking that. Well, is it Haribo? And that's I think Japanese. Also,
No, because
probably also wrong.
we're probably totally wrong, but I'm gonna still stick with Hasbro and probably saying it wrong. I think those are German. Everyone in the house likes those so much except for me.
Okay. Well, next time you get them, look at the back and
I'll
if
have to
it's
look at the back.
see where
Okay.
it says. It says like from Germany, processed in New Jersey or something.
Okay.
So Joseph gives a call to his grandma, Jerry, who we love.
Mm,
He's like, Grandma, it's crazy out here. Like he's looking. Now remember, now we have to remember some of these guys. Like this guy has actually said he thinks every day about what he did. He's
uh-huh.
remorseful. He knows he scared those people and he feels terrible about it. So I think that's a good
Yes.
point to make that we don't see that too often on our
No,
other
not at all.
programs. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So he's like, "Grandma, it's crazy out here." And he's looking around and everything. And he says, things in the, Jerry says, Grandma Jerry says, things in the world are different now. Like the world is
Yeah.
really messed up. And I want him to take some time out in this world to just see how it is today. Cause it's not like 11
It's
years ago when he went in, you
it's
know?
not the same at all. I thought it was so funny. He was like, "Grandma, it's JoJo. This your grandson." like, like he like had a new face or something. Like she was not gonna recognize him at all. But yeah, you can kind of see as they're driving, he's like sitting up in the seat, just looking around. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a whole new world out there.
Yeah, I really don't know why these prisons don't have some sort like once you get like 6 months to your release date, they should have a program like, all right, everybody that's supposed to be released in April,
Yeah,
back in August or something, we're going to start, they should give them a good and then show them things in the world or give them a field trip or show them how just anything. I think that because when they come out and they've been in for anything over 3 years, they're just so stunned by the world. And I mean, anybody
they
would be.
are. Yeah, I mean, they're used to like whole cable boxes. They don't even realize how many cable, like streaming apps and things like that.
Yeah,
They know
right.
nothing about it. They don't know about electric cars and just
Yeah.
everything that we just are so. I mean, because think about it. Every couple of years, something changes for us on the outside that we have to learn, like, okay, what the hell is this?
Yes.
James, please come teach me how to do it. So for them, it's just like almost going to another planet,
Yeah.
you
It's
know?
literally like the Jetsons.
Yes,
Yes, for you younger
it
people, that
is.
was a show from the 70s and 80s. It was a wonderful cartoon. Look it up.
Oh, yes.
So, like, here's a great example. They drive up to the McDonald's because he's like, I just got to, I got to get some outside food. So they go to McDonald's,
Mhm.
and as they pull up, he's like, they have flat screens at the McDonald's outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy, like, he's never seen that because he used to drive up and it would be that, like, metal box that you were talking to.
I had to think about it for a second. I was like, okay, I know he's right, but I was trying to go back through my Rolodex of how things used to look at McDonald's like on the menu screen. I can't even remember.
I think it was just like a piece of paper behind glass, like, that they would
That's
put
right.
and they'd screw it in, right?
That's
And
right.
then a piece of thing behind glass, and then they have that box. So you would just see that menu, that paper menu behind the glass, huge. That
You're right.
Yeah,
And
that's
they
how
would
they
have
did
to
it.
go flip it like from the breakfast menu when it became lunchtime. They'd have
Yes.
to go outside and actually flip it over to the other
Yeah.
side. Dang.
So
That's
that's when
crazy.
he went in, they definitely didn't have any of this.
Right.
So he's excited about that. And so he says, day to day prison life is simple. Everything is the same every single day. And, seeing the world is complete culture shock, and he says, walking into the gas station, there's
Yeah.
so much stuff. It's total shock. He's not used to seeing so many colors, which is
Right.
so interesting. You don't think about that because everything there is like gray and brown.
Very neutral tones. Yeah.
Yeah. And for him to say he's not used to seeing that many colors, like that's probably like, it really is like going to another planet, I think.
And
Um,
the selections of things. I mean, now I
yeah,
bet when he went in, you only could get orange Fanta and maybe a cherry. Now you got pineapple, mango, colada, Fanta flavors, all these. I'm sure he was just in awe, like, I don't even know what to pick. But
yeah.
he
I
did
mean, there's not even like
pick beef.
regular Doritos. There's like 12 kinds of Doritos now.
No,
Yeah,
no. But I felt his excitement when he saw the beef jerky because I love a good bag of beef jerky. It's just so high now. I don't understand why the price has peaked to where it
I
is
don't.
now.
I've never had a beef jerky in my life.
I'm about to hop through this damn screen right now.
Ew,
What
that
do
sounds
you mean?
ew, it sounds gross. I don't I don't want a
Beef
beef jerky.
jerky?
Yeah. My husband eats it sometimes, but no, mm-mm. I know it's good protein, but I'm mm-mm.
You want to get on my good side? Just wave a bag of beef jerky, and from now I'll do whatever hell you want me to do. You want me to do your taxes? All right, I'll do your taxes. You want me to go murder someone? All right, I'll do. I love beef jerky. Yum.
You're
Mm.
like Angela from 90 Day. I can be manipulated by cake.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, and I can also be manipulated by a box cake too. Yeah, those are my
That is
things.
so funny. So they ring up everything that he's got is $37, and he just like can't believe it. He can't believe how much prices have gone up, and he says,
Yeah,
seeing these prices make me immediately think about working, and my
got
freedom
to.
is going to be expensive. So, and then a lot of these guys come out and they see how much everything costs and how hard it is, and they're just like, well, I just rather get a traffic violation so I can go back to prison.
Go back.
You know,
Yeah. Do they still give you that check when you leave prison? Like for is it $100 or $200?
I think they give you like $100, and they put it now. I think they put it in some sort of app,
Of
but you
course.
got to have the app. You got to have a phone. I mean, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So they get to the hotel, and he's like, I'm a 30-year-old man coming out of prison with nothing.
Yeah.
And so he gets ready to get in the bathtub. He's taking all his clothes off. And she says, I think he just needs that time alone to be in the bathtub
Mhm.
by himself and sort of wash off that prison. So then he goes in there and she's like, okay, all right. And he
He's all
says,
bending over, getting in the tub, and
and he's very muscular.
he is. He has been working out
Yeah.
in
Now,
prison.
okay. Now, I didn't notice because I wasn't looking. I was too busy looking at everything else he had going on. Did he have her face below the Svea? Did we notice?
No, it is says I think it is a very horrible tattoo of Jesus Christ that's
Oh,
on there.
okay.
It is. It is. It's just like, is there a 3-year-old who was in prison with you who does tattoos on the side for extra ramen noodles? Because it was horrible. And then her name
Oh.
is above it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
bad.
All right. Well, hopefully his new job will help him get some money. He can get that corrected. Um,
Yes.
so he says being in this bathtub is like being in the bathtub is like a baptism, being dunked in the water and symbolizing rebirth. And he just wanted to get in there and wash the prison off. And um, I said, here's where I realized Keisha's right because he's cuter with the hat. But
Yeah.
he's so
Yes.
cute, and he says a lot of stuff: redemption, rebirth, wash off the sins, blah blah blah. And then he's like in the tub, and he goes, "But after I check out of this hotel, I got to go live in my cousin's basement." It's
Yeah.
funny.
Which he may feel more comfortable in that basement because it
Yeah,
looks very prison-like. It just doesn't have
Drab.
the bars or
Mhm.
anything like that. So,
Yeah,
oh,
true.
poor JoJo.
Poor JoJo. All right, so let's move on to Jessica and Craig. So this is a new couple that we're seeing. So
Yeah.
Jessica is from Australia. She is an
Mhm.
insurance broker, and Craig, her husband, is 35. They're in Wichita, Kansas. He's on Wichita work release. He is in prison for attempted aggravated robbery, serving 10 years. So we open with her doing some yard work. She explains she's from Brisbane, Australia. Never thought she'd been living in the US. Never thought she'd be married to a prisoner. And we see Craig's mugshot, and I was like, okay, Craig.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
Craig.
he's not bad looking at all, and he's got good teeth. All of the
Yeah.
prisoners so far have pretty. Everyone on the show, with the exception of one person, has pretty good teeth so far.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is we haven't come across anybody yet that is in for drugs.
Oh, you
Don't you
know
think?
what?
Hmm.
That's right. That
They
is
haven't
right.
rotted
Yeah,
their teeth out. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
So he's cute, and he says when he was young, he had no structure and no discipline, and he made a lot of bad decisions. And since age 12 to 35, which he is now, he's had about 3.5 years of freedom. I said, oh my God, Craig. Craig has had a life. Craig has had a life.
He's kind of like Michael from Michael and Erin. He's been inside prison so much that these people don't even have kids. They didn't even have enough time to knock someone up
Right. He wasn't out. He was
before they
only
were
out
right
like a
back in
week.
jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then right back in. I don't. I'm glad he went to the work release program because he would have easily struggled on the outside
Yeah.
if
See,
not.
this is what I'm talking about. Like the work
Yeah,
release program at least gets you she's sort of like living right in the city, and I think they can
yeah.
like go outside and do stuff and come back in. And
Hmm.
so he's learned a trade, which being a welder
Right.
pays very well. So now we see Jessica, and she's going to get her nails done with Craig's little sister Mika. So she
Hmm.
tells the nail girl, oh yeah, I met my husband on social media. It was a prison website, and
Why? Why no? I would never tell anyone this. I'm like, no, he's from another country. He's been working out on an oil rig. Anything, I would not tell someone that my husband or boyfriend or I'm dating someone who's in prison. Like, that is
yeah,
confidential information. Some stuff needs to stay in the house.
I know. So keep it in your heart. But I just think
Yeah.
that, they told her to say that. But the nail girl's like, okay, well, that's interesting. But once
Hmm.
again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say this for every episode. Never in my life, and I speak about it out loud, and my phone and my computer can hear me, and never in my life
Mm-mm.
has it popped up a write a prisoner website. Social media
No.
has never prompted me. Let me tell you,
No.
social media prompts me on the daily to buy some shit. I'm like, oh, those are some cute
Yes.
pants. Click. I'm sure they're going to come on the slow boat from China. They'll be here in 3 weeks, but
Yeah.
they are cute pants that I'll forget I ordered. But
Yes.
never has social media ever suggested I write a prisoner. And I say these words out loud many times a day. My phone hears it. Literally, I'll say right now, I need to buy a swimsuit from Land's End. Like Land's End, I really need to look for a new swimsuit. Now that shit's gonna pop up on my phone in
Be
about
on
an
your phone.
hour.
And
But
then I'm in
never
a lot of the groups for like the Love After
doesn't pop up.
Lockup, Prison Brides. I'm in their groups and not one single ad has popped up about a prison pen pal. But I have thought about pretending to be a fake pen pal to a person in prison.
That's not nice. Why would you do that?
I know, but then I thought that's not very nice.
Yeah, but
But
then
the
again,
thought
they might
crossed
they
my
might not
mind.
be very nice and just try to take your money like Red was trying to take it from Joy.
Like, I want to know what they're going to say. Like, what do we say to each other at first? Hi, I'm Keisha. I've never served time. What is the introduction like?
I saw your picture. You look really nice. If you're looking for a pen pal, like I'd like to be your friend. I think that's how it starts out, and then it's like, show me your boobs. I think that's how it goes. Here, let
Wow.
me send you an outline drawing of my wiener. I think that's how that works.
I'm like, don't send it to me unless it fills the whole page.
Like,
Otherwise, you're
gross.
wasting both of our time. Okay. If you're going to
Yes.
show me something, I really want to see something big. I
That's
want girth
disgusting.
to be on that page.
Oh, okay, that's enough. So they explained that he is on work release. He was in prison for 6 years and then he met his wife. Then he was in prison for 3 more years, and now he's in a work release, program which teaches him to reintegrate to society. He got a job as a welder. He has saved
Yeah.
$35,000.
We don't hear about that much at all. Okay. We kind of sort of do. We kind of okay. This is for the guys who were in prison for selling drugs. And when they come out and they have money, it's never said where the money comes from, but we always assume it's like a stash that they had. But never has it been like I actually worked a job in this program and saved up this money.
Right.
This is new territory for us.
It is. Craig is a model prisoner.
Yes, he is.
He was like, "This is a huge accomplishment for me. I never thought I'd be able to do anything like this in my life." He has 2.5 months left, and then he's gonna, be home with his wife.
Mm-hmm. Who
And
never smiles.
well, she's got it rough. So she says, she wants to redo their wedding. Nothing fancy because she
Okay.
thinks a big wedding's a waste of money. But they got married in prison. And by the way, their prison pictures look pretty
I
good.
thought they looked great.
I mean, normally it's literally like an orange jumpsuit and you're standing there in like a
Yeah.
white sweatshirt. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't know they were prison pictures
Yeah.
unless they had like his number at the bottom of it. You know how it
Yeah.
says like united on such and such a date, and it said
Uh-huh.
they had like his prison number at the bottom. It
Yeah.
totally looks like they may have gone to like the courthouse or had like a
Yeah.
very small ceremony.
And
So
just stood outside in the park and took a picture. That's what it looked
yeah.
like.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but I get it, and she says, he tells us that 4 years ago, he went to a Facebook page where pen pals can write you. And he had 20 girls writing him. That's right, because you're cute, Greg. And he struck gold with Jessica. He just couldn't believe it. But when they first talked on the phone, he could barely understand her because of her accent, eh?
Right.
And shrimp on the Barbie. And that's so stupid. I'm sorry. That's so disrespectful to Australians. I apologize.
And they
Um,
hate us for saying that. But what
I
else do
know.
we know how to say?
I don't know. You have to
We
put an
only know
R and everything to use Australian. You have to put an R and everything.
yeah, we only know shrimp on a Barbie. Uh what was the crocodile guy's name?
Crocodile
Steve
Dundee.
Irwin. No, Steve Irwin.
Oh,
Like
Steve
we know how to
Irwin.
imitate him. And
Yeah.
I know how to imitate Tabitha Coffee from, Tabitha Takes Over. That's all we got for Australia. That is all that's all. We don't know any better.
Oh, that is.
Teach
I
us.
know. I apologize. I'm not even going to try to do her accent, but an Australian accent is just really lovely to hear.
It is.
So, he spent about $20,000 on phone bills. Now,
What?
how he had that money in prison, I don't know. Uh, but when he
That's
finally
a
got
lot.
her to come there to visit, right when he saw her, he knew she was the one. They eventually got married while he was in prison. We see the photos. And they've been married for 2 years now. And Micah says, when he gets out because of this work release program, he's going to be doing a lot better than when he went in. He's really got like a head start.
Mhm.
And Jessica says being in Kansas from Brisbane, Australia, which is gorgeous, has been a big change. She had to get a new job. She had to learn to drive on the other side of the road. She got a driver's license. She had to get insurance for herself. She had to get health coverage. And she moved there with no belongings other than her clothing. So she had to like get a home and furnish it. And she
Wow, that's
says
a
that
lot.
it's a lot. But she says in Australia, once her visa was issued to move to the United States, she had
Mhm.
6 months. And she says, and that's not a lot of time when you are packing up your entire life, like
Right.
canceling everything there to move over here. And she said,
Yeah.
I would never have been able to pay it all myself. Craig gave me a lot of money, to help me with this before we even met in person. And he has beautiful qualities for someone who had such a traumatic childhood. We're going to learn
Y
more about that in the next episode.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
So with work release, they have a really good visiting schedule. She goes to see him every weekend. And he says he has to walk a strict straight line or he's going to be sent right back, from work
Right.
release back to prison. And he's been in that work release program for about a year. And she goes every weekend. So it seems like it's just right there in town. It's not like
Very,
she's from
very
very far.
close.
Yeah.
Now we have seen what happens when you do mess up on your work release because we saw that with Melissa and Louis on Love
Yes.
After Lockup.
Yes.
And they went in and did the hanky panky
Uh-huh.
and listen to me being all nice and hanky panky.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh.
And
They did a little grope around.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, and then he got sent right back to prison.
Yeah, was it 6 months or 18 months?
I think it was 6.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, 'cause and
Yeah.
he had it good, but then he screwed it up by having to get a little touchy-feely.
Mhm. Yep.
So, she's driving up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm standing by the window looking." She's like, "Well, look, I'm driving up right now." And so she looks up at the window, and he's in like a tank top, and she goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, you've got your wife beater on." He goes, "Yeah, see my muscles. Look at that on TV." Which was just funny because I
It
like that
is.
they're, like, talking about the cameras being there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
So she said, when he gets out, I do think he'll struggle, but we really are dedicated to making it work. We're going to have to take it day by day. And he's like, I'm just so grateful. She stood by me. She's never given up on me. And their story just gets sweeter and sweeter, I think, as it goes. And I'm excited for these two. I believe in their love. I
I'm
believe in their love.
ready for something to go bad in one of the relationships.
Well, here's the next couple, and this might be the one.
Okay.
So this is Emma from London. She's 32. She's a post lady. She does
Mhm.
the mail. So she's 32 from London. She's a postal service worker. And Curtis, who we now know his name is Curtis Bradford. So if we want to do any internet
Right.
snooping, we've got his last name now. He's
Yeah. Well, we
33.
we got some info on him last time. Remember about the prostitution charges
That's right. Curtis, yes, has some prostitution charges. Yeah.
and I will say Emma is her and Gypsy Rose are about the same as far as the social media and the interviews. She was just on Tamron Hall's show.
What?
Yeah, talking about the show. Yes,
Really?
she is seizing the moment for this bit of reality TV celebrityism or whatever you want to
Oh
call it.
my Lord. Okay. Well,
And
I've got to
she's
go look her
always
up.
on the TikTok. Oh, she's always on TikTok. Oh, she is loving all of this. And he's still not even out of prison.
Okay. You got to send me her TikTok handle so I can
Okay.
follow her.
Okay.
So he's 33. He's serving 7 years in prison in, again, St. Louis, Michigan, for carjacking and possession of a firearm. So
Hmm.
we know now because last episode that he carjacked his cousin with a gun.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
if you're going to carjack someone, you might as well keep it all in the family.
I mean, how scary! Like you're just sitting there and your cousin comes up with the guns, like, "Give me my car back." I mean, I don't
I
like
would
it.
beat the hell out of my cousin. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Let me call your mom on the phone. Amy, do you know what he is over? He is trying to carjack me, right? He got a gun and every damn thing. Yeah. Here, your mama want to talk to you. Like, you cannot carjack your damn cousin. Just like, how does that? I don't know
Oh
how
my
that
God,
works. I don't know how
that's
you
funny.
decide that.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So Emma and Curtis have been together 2.5 years, and they're about to get married in prison. And she tells us that she has an unhealthy addiction to Botox. She
We can
is
tell.
32, and she does not need to have been starting this until at least like 35 or 40. She doesn't need to be
Well,
starting this nonsense because once you start, like that's it. Now you're doing it.
I mean, it used to be when Botox first came out,
Yeah,
it was for ladies who were really, it was like for ladies like who were 50 or
yeah,
women in their mid 40s who were, trying to help
yeah.
themselves out. Now you've got bitches in their 20s doing
I
Botox. I'm
know.
like,
I know.
why are you doing this? Like, I don't get it.
I
Why
know.
start so young?
I started in my mid 40s, and I kinda, like, wish I woulda started closer to 40, but, I didn't have, like, the money or I was, like, scared my husband would get mad at me. I think I did it when he was out of town. It's like, "Guess what?" Um, but, yeah, I think that around 40, if you see some spots that you wanna get straightened out a little bit, that's when you start.
Mhm.
This girl's been doing it for a long time, and she's only 32, and she's her best friend is an injector, and that's a problem because then you
And
just
her,
go over
her
to your friend.
anytime you want. And her friend had all the eyelashes. All she had
She
eyelash
did.
extensions. She
Yes.
had the strips on. Like no one can
Yes.
say anything about me and my lash extensions because that girl right there was like, oh my god, I bet her eyelids are tired by the end of the day just from carrying the weight
Yeah,
of those
her friend,
lashes.
she had really, gotten some eyelashes for this, camera
Yeah,
appearance. So this is her friend Gigi, and she's talking to Gigi about getting married. She's like, "Can you believe it? I'm getting married." And she says, "I have to get to know him again, all over on the outside." And Gigi tells us that Emma has been treated really badly in her past relationships, and this is so overwhelming that she's dating this guy. And obviously, she would prefer that her friend date somebody and marry somebody in the UK.
Even a
And
UK prison.
even a UK prison would be preferable
Yeah,
because you wouldn't have to spend so much money on international flights and
right.
international phone plans too, by the way.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
So back to the Botox, and they get a lot of close-ups of the Botox. I'm like, I could have done without that, but I get it. So I don't want to know what they're doing to me. I would like to just see the final outcome. Same with like the dog food. I don't want to, or the chili. I don't want to just give me the final outcome. I don't. Same with the Botox.
Forget
Okay,
the
don't.
it's fascinating to me because I've never had it done. I'm just like, "Oh, is that what they do? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay, alright,
just a
interesting."
tiny little needle right there into that muscle. Give me the
Mm,
juice.
okay.
All right. So she says she can't believe she's going to marry somebody who she's never spent any time with on the outside. It's going to be weird, because he's got these two kids from a previous relationship, but that just
Yeah.
means he's family oriented.
No, it
No,
doesn't because he's in prison not taking care of the children at all. It's quite the opposite there, Emma, but okay. I
it's not what it
mean,
means, Emma. No.
no, she
Mm-mm,
bless her heart. It
no.
was the
So
Botox that's going to her brain.
I think so. And if any relationship is not going to work, this is going to be in my top two. These two.
You think so?
Yeah. hmm
Why?
It, he didn't want to marry her. He didn't care.
You
He
don't
this is
think
just
so?
this is just a girl he's chatting with. I think.
But he doesn't have to marry her. He could have just continued to date her.
Right, but maybe she's like, "I can't send you any money if I'm not an American citizen," or, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't buy what Curtis is selling.
You don't.
I don't.
I, during this scene, I really couldn't take the focus off the fact that I think Gigi, who's kind of cute,
Yeah.
she needs to probably lay off the high tight ponytails.
I was looking at Gigi's hair. I was looking at her
Cause
tattoos and her lashes.
those edges, it was not, no. I think she needs to find her a nice bob with bangs and leave that high ponytail alone. Cause
It was
it was
stretching her hair
thinning.
back too tight,
Yeah, yeah,
breaking off in the
yeah,
front.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah.
All right. So she says, Emma says, "It's getting real. I'm getting married. His earliest projected release date is in 6 months, or he
Right.
could be there till 2042.
No.
See, that's a big
Uh-uh.
difference. It's a
That's a
big difference.
huge difference. I'm only gonna marry you if I know for sure you're getting out in 6 months.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
And she says, but for me to go, she said it, but I didn't totally understand, but it sounded like to me for her to go and like,
Mhm.
um, on his behalf to ask for his release, they have to be married so that she could get a spousal visa so she could say he has something to come home to. I'm his wife. You know what I mean? She has to advocate for him, and she can't do that unless she has this spousal visa. She can only do that if they get married. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yes, but can't his mom, like, advocate for him? Like, he has a home, I'm his mom, he's got 2 kids, da 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 da.
I don't
Or
know. He carjacked his cousin. Maybe his mom's still mad about that.
that's true. Or do you think Emma really wants to get to the States and here's her easy-ish ticket?
If you live in England, you can come to the United States and live here. I mean, it's not like you're coming from the Ukraine or something. It's not that hard. It's not like you're coming from like Egypt or Michael from you just it's
I didn't
Nigeria.
know
It's
it
not
made a
hard.
difference. I didn't know it made a difference from country to country.
Yes, every country is very different. And also the United States is different about who they let in. Because
Oh.
we've got that couple from the original 90 Day, which is John and what's her name? Her name will come to me in a second. Follow our fairy tale, and he's been trying to come into the states for I don't know. I mean, they've been married 5 6 years, and he's from England, and they won't let him in because of his felony record. Like he gouged somebody's eye
Oh.
out in a bar.
Oh, no. That's
Yeah,
awful.
so he can't. He's never been able to come to the states even to visit her. She has to go there every time, and they're married.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it
Alright.
depends. I think it depends on the country you're coming from and your
Mhm.
background. So
All right.
if Emma is just like a postal worker, then she could probably come. I think
Well, she just loves her some Curtis, I guess.
she loves her some Curtis, and I don't get it. Okay, so now she says, he's just she's encouraging to be a better man, and he's wonderful, and blah, blah, blah. And he talks about how wonderful she is and how she is encouraged him to be a better man. Sorry. So she gets to the States and she calls her new friend. Her new friend in the States doesn't answer. And she's like, I'm all alone on the night before my wedding. She pops champagne, has room service. She has a bride robe with like
Yeah.
fuzzy
That's
sleeves. I was
really
like,
wrinkled. It was really, I'm like, where's the steamer? Like, you need to steam those wrinkles out. And when are you
well,
going to wear this? And who's going to take pictures of you in it from the back
well,
so you can see bride? And I had
well,
lots of
that's what I
questions.
wrote. Girl, this is weird. I said, girl, this is
Yeah.
my note. Girl, this is weird. Why do you have this
Yeah.
fuzzy bride robe? And like, I guess she thought if her friend was coming over, she could put it on and be fun.
Maybe.
And, but
Okay. Okay.
she,
That makes
she's,
sense.
she's going to have to set that camera up on the table and put the timer on.
I mean,
'Cause
personally, I would have been totally okay ordering room service and alcohol and spending the
me
night
too.
by myself. I mean, the hamburger looked great and the fries. Give me some ketchup and I'm good to go.
She was
I,
popping that Moet champagne. She was ready to rock.
yeah, she was.
At least get something better. So she works on her vows and she's writing them down and sitting there having her cheeseburger and her Moet. She says, "This feels a bit sad." Yeah, girl, it is. It is sad.
The sad part is, but here's the thing. She wasn't talking about the fact that it was sad because she's marrying someone in fucking prison.
No,
Yeah, like no, that's the beginning and the end of the sadness right there, Emma. But because she's alone that night.
she's alone and she
So,
says,
yeah.
I've never met anyone on the outside that stimulates my mind like Curtis does. And again, the point is, he has nothing else to do but talk to you on the phone.
All these men do is feed these women prison poetry.
That's
That's
what I'm
all they
telling
do.
you. That's why I don't
Yes.
believe. That's why I don't believe it. So she's getting ready. She says it's super early. She's trying to get ready. She's to get to the prison real early for their 8 a.m. wedding. And she's in a white sweatshirt and white sweatpants and a veil. It's like, oh. So she calls her friend and shows her the outfit. And her friend says, "Can you wear those trousers? The trousers seem a bit tight." Her friend is
Yeah.
right, but I thought she looked real cute in her white
I
sweatpant
thought she
outfit.
looked cute too. I mean, if I'm going to marry someone in prison at 5 o'clock in the morning, that's what I'm going to wear.
Me too.
I ain't
So
getting dressed up. Nope.
well, they won't let you. I mean, you're not probably not allowed to wear a skirt.
Well, remember from Mike and Justine, she was able to wear the dress,
Yeah,
the white dress, but it was long sleeve. It was
yeah.
long, but it was still, a wedding. But maybe it differs from prison to prison.
I think so because we see some of these ladies walking in outfits, and then we're like, "How does she go into that?" And then this girl's got
Right.
to be in like a nunnery outfit. So,
Right.
um, so she says, "I have to go pick up Kurt's mom, and I'm running late, so I got to go." So we meet Faye, Curtis's mom, and Faye seems nice enough, and she's not nice enough to vouch for him to get him out of prison. He's gonna make him marry this girl to do it, and
Yeah.
Faye says, "Yeah, I don't know about the situation with Emma. They've never lived a day together, so it's going to be up to them. It's going to be hard work. They're going to have to make it work."
Yep.
So they're going in, and she goes, "Gosh, I hope with what I'm wearing is okay." And then we get the black screen of death that says, "Cameras are prohibited." And then 2 minutes later, she goes back to the car, and they're like, "Right when I walked in, I saw the officer who popped off and said, 'No, I have to change.'" So
Right.
she had to put on jeans, but she still got to wear her white sweatshirt. She puts on
Well,
jeans.
thank God she brought extra clothes.
Yeah, it seems like they always have a bag of clothes in the car in
Yeah.
case they didn't get away with what they were
Hmm.
hoping to get away with. So 15 minutes later, she comes out, she's married. And we see some pictures of them, like, they do that picture and then they do like the back to back, like they're
Yes.
like sort of
That's the
like
prison pose.
yeah, it's like Blossom and Six, like back to back,
Yes,
like
it
like an 80s sitcom
is.
picture.
Yes, it is. It is.
Or like the Backstreet Boys, back to back.
Yeah. Hmm.
So stupid. So now mom is driving for some reason. And mom, Faye, says, "I've always had hope for Curtis and I'm very proud, of this. I'm looking forward to the future." And they go out to a bridal lunch at a
Hmm.
cafe and they do cheers to Emma and Kurt Bradford.
Bradford. Yes. To my new
Emma,
daughter, Emma Bradford, and to my son, Curtis Bradford, because I guess she needed to remind us that they had the same last name. Now, I don't. That was a little bit of an odd moment for me,
And
but I
she's
was
like,
like, oh, okay, all right,
welcome, stepmother. So,
right.
all right, let's end with Erin. Let's remind everyone she's 33. She's also from
Uh-huh.
Brisbane, Australia. And Michael, 43, was serving 8.5 years in Ohio for
Mm-hmm.
robbery, burglary, and receiving stolen property. And if you guys don't know anything about Michael, we'll tell you he has spent over half his life in prison. He is a habitual
Mm-hmm.
offender. He has rage issues. And we know in
Mm-hmm.
current time, he has tried to run her over with his car and is back in jail.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he swung at her and missed. So yeah, I think
Then
we
he
all
thought then he
predicted
thought, "I'm
this.
gonna get in my car and try to hit you."
Yeah, I may have better luck with this car. Yeah, this I'm
Yeah.
really gonna get her now. Hmm.
What we
In front
really
of his
hope
14-year-old nephew.
in front of his 14-year-old nephew that I was really looking for at this picnic, but what I'm really hoping is Erin, packed up her gear and went right on back to Brisbane, Australia. That's what I hope.
I hope so too, but we have seen these women do stupider things.
Oh, absolutely, we have. We
Yeah.
cover love after lockup. Okay. So, Michael's family has arranged a welcome home picnic barbecue thing for him at a park, and he's never
Hmm.
even met some of these kids because, they're
Right.
5, 6, 8 years old. He's been in there 8.5 years this time. Last time he was only out for like 2 weeks, and he'd been in for like 10 years before that. So
He came
he
out for a
said,
break.
yeah, he had a little break.
He went out for a 2-week vacation from prison.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then he robbery, burglary, stolen property. We don't know what he
right
did.
on
So
back.
right on back. So he says, he's got a soft spot for babies. And, he
Hmm.
does beat himself up all the time for all the time that he's missed with all these kids, all these nieces and
Yeah.
nephews and stuff. And he's holding one of these cute little blonde headed babies. It was real cute and
Hmm.
they're real snuggly. And Aaron's like, oh my gosh, seeing him with this baby, it's just making me melt. He's just so handsome. He's so happy. He just loves children. And, we are thinking about kids down the line.
Girl, think
Listen,
about your own child. The
you've
one
already
you
got a child.
left.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, you should she's like basically saying her ovaries are talking shit.
Uh
No,
huh.
your ovaries should be thinking should be sad right now because you practically have abandoned your son in Australia for a prisoner.
Yep. All that's true. And also, I talked to Kim from Reality Cray Cray, and she was like,
Mhm.
I don't get it. Talking about how handsome he is all the time. Like, I
He's
do
not.
not get it. She's like, he does have
No.
blue eyes, but that's about it.
That's about even her mom was saying, "Oh, he's a good-looking guy." I'm like, "Where?
Who
What?
are
Let
we
me
looking
clean
at the
my
same guy?
glasses." I don't know. I'm like, "Let me clean my glasses." Like I cleaned them. He still looks tall, thick-necked and like he's going to fucking strangle someone. I
Yeah,
don't get the handsome. And I've seen prettier blue eyes as well. I
I
don't
know. I
I
know.
don't get it.
So the producer says to Aaron, talking about it was so great to see him with his nephews and stuff. So the
Mhm.
producer says to Aaron, so you have a child in Australia. How do you
Yeah.
reconcile that? I was
Yeah,
like,
good question.
yes,
Yeah.
producer. Good
Mhm.
question.
Mhm. Yep.
So she just immediately starts crying, which she should.
And she should.
And she says, it's best for my son to be there now with his father. And Michael and I are focused on getting money for a house so we can, bring my son here. I was like, well, hopefully the minute you left Australia, your ex started
Yes.
filing paperwork to make sure you cannot take your child to the United
Yes.
States.
Yes, I hope that her ex did that because that would be the smart thing to do. Because why would I let my child leave his home country to come and live with you after you abandon him and to live with your prisoner boyfriend?
Yeah, no, none of it is good. None of it is
That
good.
just doesn't. And how she fixed
Mm-mm.
it in her head to make it seem like it's a plan in place is
Yeah,
crazy to me.
I agree. I agree. So Michael tells the family, like, hey, guess what? Like, right when I got out, I proposed. We're engaged. And we see his sister and his brother, and they're happy. I'm sure, is anybody going, like, how do you get money for a ring? He's been in prison for 20 years.
I'm
I
still
guess,
wondering that as well.
I guess Becca paid for it.
Maybe.
He's like, don't worry, Becca. I'll pay you back.
Uh huh.
I'll pay you
And
back for
ramen
trying to
noodles.
run over your friend with my car. All right, so now these two are going roller skating. What is up with the roller skating on this show, Keisha? This is the
I mean,
second time we've seen roller skating on this show.
and I gotta say, if there was going to be someone skating at the roller rink, I really thought it was gonna be Joseph. I was not expecting for it to be Michael.
Take
No.
Joseph to the roller rink. You guys, what we learned about Joseph in previous episodes is he loves to roller skate. And when
Yes, he
Svea came
does.
to visit him in prison, the only other time she's ever seen him in person, they went to the roller rink just so she could get that vibe of what it was like to be in that roller rink. Like, what's
Well, and
happening?
maybe I don't know. Maybe the roller rink is where a lot of action really happens, drug dealings, and they commit war crimes, and they get together and come out with plans. We're gonna rob this person, man. You know what, man? I think you should go rob your cousin. That sounds like a good idea. I don't know, but things must be going down at the roller rink. As a matter of fact, I think I may go to our local roller rink this weekend and really see what's going on behind the scenes
See
because
what you could scare
there's
up.
stuff going on. Yeah, I mean,
You're over
I'm
there at
gonna
that
take
concession
notes.
stand getting your hot dog, and you're making drug deals, and you're like, hold on, it's
Yeah,
couple skate. Be right back. I gotta go skate with my girl. Yeah,
can
I
you
don't
hold that for
know.
me real quick? I'll be right back. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and pay for it right now. Here's the money. I'll be right back. Yeah, I mean, it has to be going down at the rink. It has to.
Down at the roller rink. So
Yeah,
Michael's doing great. He's very good at skating. You wouldn't think
yeah.
he's a big guy, but he was quick on his feet with the roller skates.
And thank God he didn't fall because that was gonna be a hard ass fall if he did.
Had a couple of moments, but he did great. He's turning and
Going
backwards, and
backwards.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So she said, "I'm just so happy. The roller skating makes him so happy. I think it's great." And he says, I grew up poor, and I would collect cans and bottles and pull weeds. I do everything I could all week long to earn money so I could go roller skating on Saturday nights.
All
And
right.
then he says, when he was little, he never knew how to handle his anger, and that led him to violence, which led him into crime. And he says Erin has given him such a good outlook on life, and he has so much hope. Wah, wah.
Well, that didn't age very well right there, but
No,
keep
rip.
hope alive. Yeah. And I cannot find Erin on social media at all.
Oh,
I
okay.
did hear this girl, she said, "Hey, I follow her on TikTok."
Oh,
But
okay.
right before the show premiered, she like cleaned everything. She does not want to be found. Well, I wouldn't want to be found either if my fucking prisoner boyfriend tried to run me over with the vehicle. No.
Yeah, because you don't know the timing of did that happen while like are we gonna see it? Like did it happen during filming or did it happen right after like the show hadn't been released yet, but she knew it was
Mhm.
going to and this had happened. So she's like, let me scrub myself because people
Yeah.
will be like, why is this dumb dumb with this guy? Yeah. She's
Yeah.
probably
And
mortified. She's probably mortified. She should be.
yeah, for a lot of reasons. She
Yeah.
got a whole list. Yeah.
Well, next time on Prison Brides, we meet Olivia from London and Kevin, her man.
Mhm.
We do find out that Kevin is a allegedly murderer.
Mhm. Mhm.
Svea and Joseph are in matching beige sweatshirts and beanies, and she's vacuuming the concrete to work on his new jail cell slash basement.
Yes.
And he really wants her just to stay there and not go back home. But of course, we know she's got to go back to
She's
Germany.
got to go back.
She's got a
Yeah.
job. We
And a
meet
kid.
Gabriel.
And a kid. I found that out. She's got a 9-year
Svea
old
has a
daughter.
Svea has a kid.
She's got a 9-year old daughter. Look, I had to, because I was in my sleuth gear and everything, I had to go through a lot of German to find this out. Because everything about her is in German. So then I finally just like trying to figure, I'm like, how can I translate this? I can't put it in my phone because I can't fucking say the word right. Then I finally saw there's like a little button you can press for everything to be translated into English.
Yes. I learned that when I was planning our trip to France. I was like, how am I
Yeah.
going to make this dinner
Yeah.
reservation? Everything's in French. And then you
Yeah.
find the little button and pick your right flag.
hmm I felt quite dumb after like just trying to figure out the German language for like an hour. Yeah. I'm
And
like,
she has
this
a
is really
9-year old,
hard.
huh? She has
She
a
has a
9-year old.
9-year old daughter. So now it explains more so why she's saying, I'm not going to move to the US. He's going to have
Yeah.
to move to Germany. So, yeah.
That's interesting. She's 29, so she had a kid when she was 20.
hmm hmm
Interesting. Okay. So Sabea and Joseph, they're saying, they're going to have to say goodbye soon, but they're going to get his jail cell basement room looking good before. We
Yes.
meet Gabriella from Lithuania, who
Uh-huh.
now lives in
In
Germany. Yeah, she now
Germany.
lives in
Yeah.
Germany. And she's marrying a guy named Jamal, and
hmm
Jamal is convicted of second degree murder. Okay, I think I was wrong about Kevin. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yes, because he's about to get out. He has like a short sentence, like 8 years or something. 8-year sentence, and he's on like year 6.5. It
Okay,
was
you're right.
robbery.
You're completely right, and his was home invasion. Okay, I am
Okay.
so sorry. Apologies to Kevin. Kevin didn't murder anybody, allegedly. It was Jamal. Jamal allegedly murdered his best friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then we see Craig. Craig is finally coming home to Jessica, right? Right? Yes, Jessica and
Yes,
Craig. Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
this is
Mhm.
this is the couple we have the most hope for because he was on that work release. Yes,
Yes, but sometimes it's the ones that we hope to have the most hope for that just disappoint us the most.
I know. And if I know you're going to tell me if you find out anything bad about them, but I don't want to know anything bad about them.
I
I'm really
haven't found out anything yet,
okay. All right.
but I'm gonna look.
I know you are. I know, and I appreciate
Mhm.
that. I appreciate this
Yeah,
background information. I do because now
yeah.
that you've told me about Erin and Michael, it makes me kind of. I was already looking at him with the side eye, but now I'm looking at him with
Yes.
both eyes crossed. Like,
Yep. Mhm.
Well, Keisha, thank you so much for covering Prison Brides with me. And again, guys,
Of
if you want to
course.
listen to all the episodes of Prison Brides, you go over to Pink Shade Prime. The link is in the show notes. You click it, and you could go and listen to all the other episodes. This is a bonus because if you're hearing this sound of my voice, I am out of town on a little cruise ship with my mom and my sisters for a little girls' trip. And so that's why you're getting this bonus Prison Brides episode. And everybody, you could follow Keisha at the Libra Lounge with Keisha, and that is her Instagram
Mhm.
handle. And she also has an amazing podcast wherever you get your podcast. And
Yes.
she really tells it like it is over there on the Libra Lounge
Yeah.
with Keisha.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Not for the
Yep.
faint of heart, you know what I'm saying?
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
Thank
Mm-mm.
you,
No.
Keisha.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you hanging in with me with these. I'm really loving this show. I'm
I think
giving
it's
it a
good.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And I think I like it because they don't talk about sex all the
No.
time. They don't talk about
Nope.
sex at all.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. I
Everybody's
thought
nice to
about
look
that
at.
too. I was
Yeah,
like,
everybody
there's no
looks
sex
nice.
talk. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right, we're giving it an 8 out of 10. Well, that's what I'm giving
Yes.
it.
I
All
agree.
right, Keisha, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.